What's up, y'all? It's me, the Geraldyne. If this is your first time coming to my channel, keep watching. So if you like me, you can subscribe. And if this is not your first time, thanks for coming back. Tune in. As you can tell by the title, in this video, I'm going to list a couple of reasons on why I think the natural hair community is toxic. And I'm going to give a few, or maybe like one or two, a few hair growth tips. So I denounced from the natural hair community in like 2020. So I'm going to say yeah, because I am not a part of it. I'm just not. But all jokes aside, I did not expect the natural hair community to still be going strong in its toxicity in 2022. In this big year of 2022, the natural hair community, it just keeps getting worse. And I'm just going to list a few reasons on why I think it's toxic. And if you guys didn't know, I did do a big chop in January. And a part of that reason, which I mentioned in the big chop video, was for me to learn how to do my own hair. So you guys could check that video out if you want. But yeah, so, and if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Reason number one, the natural hair products don't be producting how they're supposed to be producting, if that makes sense. Like, they just don't work how they're supposed to work. Before this whole natural hair movement thing, the products that were sold to us, a little goes a long way. Now with the new natural hair products, you have to use like half the bottle just for it to work. Like, you're in one sitting, the bottle, you used 8 ounces of a 16-ounce bottle. Do they even make 16-ounce products? Like, you use 4 ounces of an 8-ounce product that you spent $20 on. You know, so the products just don't product how they're supposed to product. They don't work how they're supposed to work. When I was younger, my mom used to wash my hair with silicone mix. And I'm going to insert a picture here. But there was a brand, and it was of two girls on the bottle. I think the bottle was like green. Those products used to work on my hair. My hair used to flourish with those products, with like the pink hair lotion. I think it's Blue Magic, the hair grease, the Indian hair grease. Like, just a whole bunch of greases and products used to work on my hair. None of them had curls or defining in the title. Like, it just worked perfectly fine. And now these new products, which are advertised to our hair, they don't work how they're supposed to work. So that's why I feel like the natural hair community is toxic, because that's the natural hair community's fault. Because I started a whole movement. Now companies are just profiting off of us. They're exploiting us. They're exploiting us. They know the products won't work. They know it's just water or whatever they put in it that you have to keep reapplying just for your hair to stay moisturized. So that's why I feel like that's my first reason on why I feel like the natural hair community is toxic. The second reason on why I think the natural hair community is toxic is y'all come up with new rules every week. I might be dragging it with the every week, but every other week or every month there's a new rule. I remember when y'all first started, it was the LOC method. Then you guys said LCO method, which the science behind that makes sense. But now recently, in the past couple of months on TikTok, because it's no longer YouTube that promotes this this toxic natural hair community, it's TikTok. Recently on TikTok, I think it was a natural hair stylist or just somebody who thinks they know it all on hair, know all about hair. They came on and said oils aren't good for your hair. Stop using oils. It can't be the oils y'all was just telling us are good for our hair. It cannot be the oils that be having our hair growing that you're saying it's not good. Like, you know, and the reasoning behind that was because they said it causes water to not penetrate your hair and it causes buildup. But that's not why. That's not oil's fault. I mean, that's what oil is, but there's ways to prevent that. Not really prevent, I don't know if prevent's the word, but just hear me out. Oils are not bad for our hair. It's just that anytime something doesn't work for somebody's hair, instead of just keeping it to yourselves and moving on with life and finding something that does work, y'all would turn on the camera, post a video, and have people believe in y'all. Just because Natural 23 said oils aren't good or oils don't work, it doesn't mean it doesn't work for your hair. It just doesn't work for their hair. And y'all would post it, these big companies would see it, and then they would sell products that they think would help, but it doesn't really help. For instance, y'all said clarifying shampoos were bad. So what? Companies went and made natural clarifying shampoos. And in those natural clarifying shampoos, the products that actually clean your hair, that would strip the oils off your hair, they're not in it. And that's why people have buildup, and that's why that's why water isn't penetrating their hair. That's why they have to, you could wash your hair and your hair is still water, your hair is hydrophobic, you know? It's just so crazy. that anybody could just get on and say stuff, and they're exploiting us. These big companies are really exploiting us. And when we were younger, well, a long time ago, there was not 30 different shampoos. I would use one shampoo, and that would clean my hair, it would moisturize my hair, it would do all that. Now there's moisturizing shampoo, clarifying shampoo, strengthening shampoo. There's like 30 different shampoos. And now there's this whole thing where they say your hair gets used to shampoos, so you gotta switch it up. We was not switching it up as much when we was younger. You know, so I just feel like it's because we get online. Well, when somebody finds something that doesn't work for them, they get online. It's too many black people in the world, too many hair textures, male and female, for y'all to tell people to stop doing something because it doesn't work for your hair. But yeah, that's my second reason on why the natural hair community is toxic. This goes back to my first point. The natural hair products we have now, they're the reason that our hair gets damaged so fast. Because before, when I was younger, and I can speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure others can relate, every time I washed my hair, I used to blow dry it. There was no air drying. It was none of that. I used to get it blow dried. I used to go to Dominican salons to get my hair pressed. And I say Dominicans because they wash your hair, they put you under a hooded dryer, then you get your hair bone straight blow dry and flat ironed, and my hair reverted every time. And that's because in the products that we were using, the chemicals that protect your hair were in there. But now these natural hair products, they don't include those chemicals. So now it's, you blow dry your hair once in 3 months and your hair is already heat damaged. Our hair isn't protected as much with these new products. So that's another reason why. That falls under reason 1, but that's why the natural hair community is toxic. Now for my third reasoning is y'all don't really accept 4C hair. Y'all get on social media, y'all would say things like 4C hair doesn't have to be dry, it doesn't have to be brittle, it doesn't have to be nappy, it doesn't have to be peasy. Like, y'all would say all that. What are you talking about? 4C hair is 4C hair, and y'all would think that when y'all say that you're being progressive, like you're spitting facts, you're preaching. Y'all say it like y'all ate, but y'all didn't. You guys are just being texturist. That's what it is, just straight texturist. 4C hair is 4C hair. There should be no reason why in every natural hair product, in the product name, it says defining, curls, what else? Like just a whole bunch of, why are we trying to change 4C hair? Why are we trying to make type 4 hair not look like type 4 hair? That also goes for like that wash and go method y'all had. I'm not doing a 10-step lineup to make my hair look curly. I remember when I was in the natural hair community, I used to put the mousse, the gel, the curling gel, the defining cream, the curling, I said curling cream already, or I said curling, the curling cream. Like, there's just so many curls this, curls that. And it's all marketed to type 4 hair because they know, like, when you wash your hair don't look like what's on the bottle or what they want your hair to look like, you know? So I just feel like 4C hair still isn't accepted. No matter how progressive y'all think y'all are, or no matter how positive you think you are, 4C hair still isn't accepted in the natural hair community. Just because you throw on an afro, just because y'all have afros on pictures and call it representation, y'all still don't really accept 4C hair. We love all hair. We love and appreciate all hair types until y'all see somebody with type 4 hair walking with their hair, how their hair comes out of their scalp naturally, and y'all recommending 5,000 products that have the word curled or defined in its title. Like, it's so ingrained in y'all minds that y'all don't even notice it. You guys really don't accept type 4 hair, and that's why y'all toxic. You should not be trying to turn type 4 hair into type 3 hair. Type 4 hair is its own thing, type 3 hair is its own thing, type 2 hair, type 1 hair, type 0, type 50 hair, it's all its own thing. And number 4 on why the natural hair community is toxic. These natural hairstylists are out of control. Their prices are out of control. And I'm not speaking about braiding, and I'm not speaking about like black hairstylists in general or new age hairstylists. I'm specifically speaking about these natural hairstylists, like the hairstylists that cater to natural hair. Why is a silk press $200? Why is a silk press $100? All you're doing is washing the hair, blow drying it, and pressing it. Why are you charging that much? You know, and it's just so crazy how they exploit the natural hair community. And with these natural hair stylists, you're paying a length fee, like an additional fee for length, an additional detangling fee. Then instead of just including everything needed for a silk press in the silk press service, they tell you on their booking site or whatever, how they book, to add a steam treatment, to add this, to add a length fee, to add a trim fee. by the time you add everything that it's supposed to add, you're probably paying 150, 200 for a silk press that if you go outside, depending on the weather, your hair revert. Like, there are just so many additional fees. It's not worth it, especially not for a silk press. And then when they see people online teaching people how to do their own hair, it's go to a professional. No, nobody wants to go to a professional when you guys are exploiting us. And there's a difference between exploiting and like charging your worth. There should be no reason why a silk press is 100 plus at all. That's not charging your worth. That's exploiting. There's natural hairstylists here in New York that you're paying 150, 200 for a silk press. It blows my mind every time. That's why I love that, like, people with natural hair are learning how to do their own hair, because paying people, it's not worth it. Stop exploiting people. And that's why that's my fourth reason. My fifth reason is the hair typing system is really holding us back as a community, period. There are way too many black people in this world for there to only be 12 hair types. The 1A, 1B, 1C, like, it shouldn't stop at C. It shouldn't even stop at 4, if anything. But we have not met every black person in the world. We have not met, whoever came up with the hair type system, they did not meet every black person in the world. They did not touch every black hair type in the world. We're too diverse for there to only be 12 categories. And I can't even say 12, because there shouldn't be 3 types in like each number. It's too many of us. How did you come up with that? And it's just really holding us back, because that causes chaos in the community, because somebody would think they have 4C hair, and then there's people in the comments, instead of saying that's not 4C hair, which you don't even know, it's not 4C hair. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. And these stylists, these natural hair stylists, they play into that too, because it's like we're going backwards. Y'all are going backwards with the natural hair community. So that's my fifth reason why it's toxic. And this is my last one. The natural hair community lacks compassion. It lacks compassion. Black girls were bullied for their hair types, especially if you had type 4 hair. You were bullied growing up. So it's okay if black women now, who they were once black girls, don't like their hair. We were bullied for longer than our hair was appreciated. And even today, our hair still isn't appreciated, even in workspaces. It's fine if black women don't like their hair. It's fine. Whole life, not everybody is mentally strong enough to just skip past that. Like, oh, that was just a phase. No, it affects people to this day. We were bullied more. We were bullied more than appreciated for our hair type. You know? Now, don't go bashing it for the world to see, but if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you want to perm it, if someone wants to perm their hair, let them perm their hair. Y'all police black women's hair too much, and it's black women doing it. Stop policing people's hair. If somebody wants to get a perm or relaxer, let them do that. Those were why I feel like the natural hair community is toxic. And now I'm going to give hair growth tips. As far as hair growth tips, I can only tell y'all what works for me, and it's not really tips, but my best advice is to know your hair type. And I'm not talking about like type 3, type 4, but like your strands. There's thick strands, there's medium strands, and there's fine strands. For instance, me, my hair strands are fine, like medium, but mostly fine. But I have a lot of hair. There's some people who their hair strands are thick, but they don't have a lot of hair. You know what I'm saying? People with thick hair strands, they could get away with getting their hair done every week or every 2 weeks, you know? I'm not saying that you should do that, but like, you could get away with it because your hair won't break as easily. But somebody like me, if I do my hair every week, my hair will break just because the strands are fine. So although I do have a lot of hair, the strands are fine, and that's why my hair easily breaks. And also, like with the washing your hair every week, I do feel like you should wash your hair often. I know like the natural hair community, I remember at first it was, oh, your hair grows better when it's dirty. Now it's wash your hair every week. I don't agree with you should wash your hair every week. I just feel like what works best for you. For instance, I could wash my hair every week when it's in a protective hairstyling. I cannot wash my hair every week if my hair is out, because my hair will break just because my strands are fine. So just know your hair. And for instance, me, I did have a lot of dandruff before I cut my hair. I had a lot of dandruff. Like, I could wash my hair. Today is Wednesday, so if I were to wash my hair on Monday, right now my hair will be full of dandruff, my scalp. So once I started washing my hair more often after I cut my hair, the dandruff went down. And what's good for dandruff is, well, not went down, like I don't get as much dandruff. And what's good for dandruff is rosemary water. Like, I boil rosemary with water, then I would just freeze it, so I'm not boiling it every time I need to use it. and I would just put it on my scalp and put oil, which I made myself, and now I don't get as, like, my dandruff isn't as bad. And I had this in for maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, I think it just made 2 weeks, and my hair is fine. So just learn your hair. If you have fine strands, do not do your hair all the time. Do not manipulate your hair all the time. If you have thick strands, you could get away with manipulating your hair as often, but still take care of it. Rosemary water is good. Sage is good for dandruff too, you know. So just do things that work for you. Figure out your hair. I know, like, the front of my hair is more sensitive than the back. The front of my hair breaks easy, so I just do low tension in the front. I do not pull on it, none of that. But I don't think that on your head there's just one type of hair. Now that I cut it, it's better, but the middle of my hair, like right here, it's like 4Z. It's 4Z, and then the rest is 4C. So just learn your hair, get to know your hair, and it's easy. And your hair will just grow. So those are the reasons on why I think the natural hair community is toxic. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in. Comment down below if you agree or if you disagree. And yeah.